It's Wednesday, January 16th, and you're tuned in to the TNIAB podcast. I'm Vince.
I'm Anthony.
And this is the Geek Chic Culture Show where we talk about all the cool things in the whole wide world. Like we said before, welcome to a new year, but welcome to the first official new show for TNIAB, where you can expect nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. We're back. Normalcy has resumed. We are far enough into January where New Year's shenanigans are not a fun thing anymore.
Happy New Year!
We're just back to the same old monotonous stuff.
Monotonous?
Monotonous.
I think it's fun.
Fun stuff.
You looking for that question to chew on?
Well, I remember he wrote in an earlier one.
Did he? Before?
He did, yeah, January 2nd.
Okay.
Paul Chu writes in, and I think you replied to him.
Oh, did I?
Saying how you're on vacation or something.
Oh, yes.
I think we might have touched upon this at the end of last week's episode.
Might have.
But anyways, Paul Chu writes in, Happy New Year. No need to talk about New Year's resolutions because that categorization automatically makes them less likely to happen, but is there anything you hope to accomplish in 2019?
Oh, we did. We did.
I'm pretty sure we talked about
recap,
that.
Yeah. I hope I have conversational Japanese by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope to learn an instrument. Probably most likely the drums.
Mm-hmm.
But if the drums aren't an option, then piano.
Yeah. And mine was I'm trying out being a pescatarian for a bit.
Why?
So that's basically
why
veggies with the allowance of dairy and
fish.
Yeah, shellfish.
Well, the thing is like, wait, only shellfish? Like you can't have like a tuna?
No, you can have fish, but at this point, I've only had shellfish. But tell me, trust me.
So like New Year's resolutions are supposed to be like a thing to better yourself.
Yeah.
Why would you make yourself worse?
To better myself.
No, you're making yourself worse, like strictly worse.
No, because I've there's one
Mr. No Bacon, No Life.
Listen, I love bacon. I'm not going to deny that. But I acknowledge the fact that less meat is only a positive thing in my life.
It's not, though.
It is, and I'll tell you the number one thing that I've felt. You know when you finish eating food?
Yeah.
And you got that, like, full feeling?
Like, I'm, like, comfortably, yeah, like, I'm good, I'm full.
You're full, but sometimes you, not necessarily you overeat, but you feel heavy. You ever get that?
So, my trick to that is not cutting out meat, but cutting down your portion size.
Yeah, no, that's not it, because then I get hungry too fast.
Oh, I don't.
But then, like, you rarely eat.
True facts.
Like, you are somewhat unhealthy in your eating habits.
What are you talking about?
But yeah, or not necessarily, you don't even have to feel bloated, but if you ever feel like, my stomach turns, or like, I'm feeling extra gassy, or anything like that.
Sometimes, like, if I eat the wrong shit, or if I go to all you can eat, then it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, right? And, like, you shouldn't be feeling like that after you eat. It just means that there's signs of something of just, not necessarily working well inside your body, or your body's working too hard. I have not felt a single bit of that at all, no matter how much I eat. It's been nuts. Like, I can...
How's your BMs?
Excellent.
Like, what are we talking about on the Bristol stool chart? What number are we talking?
1.5?
That's really bad. You got, like, hard poop.
I don't know what the chart is.
I'm gonna show you the Bristol stool chart. For those listeners at home.
I know it ain't green.
Good.
I know it ain't green.
Yeah, for those listeners at home, the Bristol stool chart is basically the one-stop shop for if you want to know if you got healthy poops.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so this is the chart.
Yeah,
1 being like pellet, rabbit diarrhea, and then 7, is it? Yes, type 7 just being water.
Yeah, mine's more like a 5.
5? You're looking at a 5? Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. What you want is a 4. you want a smooth 1 go release. That's how you know.
I do got one of those, but then it's followed up by the majority of.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
You know what you're missing? Me.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
That's how you get those 4s, baby.
Ooh. Ooh.
Aim for the middle.
But yeah, no. So it's been fun. And then the other thing is just to be better with my money, and then I have other small goals.
Don't do that.
But
that's dumb.
well, I have a reason to be better for my money.
Don't do that.
What do you mean?
Why?
Actually, I don't know is it really being better with your money if you're just really saving so you can buy another extravagance?
It depends what the extravagance is. Is the second extravagance socially acceptable?
I think so.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
Okay.
Then in the eyes of everybody else, it is better. Like if your next extravagant purchase was like, I'm gonna buy a solid gold Optimus Prime, then it's like, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I can't do that. Okay. Okay. So I'll write that down.
Think of what
buy...
quote unquote normal people would say.
Yeah. It's okay. All right. Yeah.
People who don't listen to this podcast.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. For sure.
Buying a car.
That was the original plan.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a condo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
You're trying to be a grown up or some shit.
Unfortunately, that time has come.
Lame.
Anthony, I'm 30. I think I have to.
Listen, how long did we start this podcast ago? 8 years now?
I don't know. Probably.
22-year-old Vince would be so disappointed hearing this right now.
He would be. You were not wrong. You were not wrong. 22-year-old Vince would be disappointed. But you know what else about... the thing about 22-year-old Vince was?
What?
He's broke as fuck.
Yeah, it's the way to live. It's the way. You're gonna be broke as fuck after buying a condo.
Yeah.
So you're going back to it anyways.
Yeah, but I'll at least have something to my name, right?
I guess.
Right?
These toys, I think. Something to your name.
Yeah, why flip toys when you flip houses, right, friend?
Oh shit! Part of the problem. Part of the problem. Oh no, this one's our fest. Here I am spending dollars on weeb knives.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna let you know a secret. In the next 5 years, our city's gonna look a little different.
Probably. It's probably full of condos.
And I realize I need to have a property in here somewhere.
Now?
Yes.
As opposed to later?
Yes, so that later I can just make bank.
Okay.
That's the real goal.
All right.
That's the realest goal.
Yeah. The
Okay.
real estate
Yeah,
goal?
you got it. That's the real estate goal.
Okay.
Good.
Lame.
Or great.
No, it's lame. It's fucking lame.
Do you have any more things you want to talk about for the new year?
No, it's fucking lame that you're buying a house, and that's dumb.
Why? Why is that lame?
Because that's like an adult thing to do, and that's dumb. Adults are dumb.
Come on, it's the next step in my relationship. Come on.
With who? Me?
No, with my girlfriend.
Whatever. It's not gonna last. It's only lasted like what? It's only lasted like what? 15 years?
Let's see.
Time's up.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with 3.
Time's up, my dude.
Okay. Paul Chu had a second question that he actually just wrote in right now.
Okay.
Paul Chu writes, "Oh damn. Don't know if this will make it in for next week's show. If it doesn't, I'll drop an extra one for next week."
It made it.
Oh, it made it, Paul. Let's talk international trends this week.
Okay.
Like K-pop a few years ago, or last year if you're Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think will be the next already established Asian trend to take over the Western world? Based on my social media feeds, it has to be the Marie Kondo KonMari method. Maybe it's just popular because it aligns so well with the New Year's resolution. Is there anything that can possibly overtake it? If it's easier, you don't have to limit to Asia. But knowing you guys, I don't know if that will make things any easier. So, listen, I got an answer. It's more popular than Marie Kondo. Because Marie Kondo arrived on the scene 2 years ago on Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah. Marie Kondo's crushing it.
You know what's going to take over?
What?
Fish sauce!
Fish sauce?
Fish sauce!
Like the one you get in vermicelli?
You got it!
Why?
Suddenly, the Western world's going to discover that fish sauce is this wonderful ingredient that needs to be used everywhere. Much like sriracha.
Yeah, but like, I think... Okay. Speaking on behalf of my people.
Yeah?
I feel like white people ruin sriracha.
Yes?
Because they got really fucking obnoxious about it.
Yes?
And they wore shirts about it. And
Yes?
like, oh my god, like sriracha is the only hot sauce I'll buy. It's so much better than...
Yes? Yes.
Like, are they going to ruin fish sauce for me
Yes?
too? Fuck.
Yes? I mean, let's not be crazy. I'm not saying you're going to get fish sauce spaghetti.
Listen, I'll cut you.
That's not happening. I'm just saying it's going to be incorporated as a substitute for salt more often than not. I think it'll be more common in international cuisine.
Interesting.
That's my prediction.
Interesting.
Because everybody understands fish sauce. Not everybody likes to clean.
I'm thinking like innocent housewives being corrupt. Wait.
Whoa! Whoa!
What was that? What's that one thing? It's like buka something? Bukak something. I forget what it's called. I forget the whole name. Maybe that's gonna be hot on the scene.
What?
Maybe that's gonna be hot on your face. I don't know.
Oh my god.
To be honest, maybe I'm probably gonna go with street fashion.
Really?
I'm probably gonna go with kind of just like, I know like designer brand names and shit are a big thing in the West, but especially with youth culture, I think with the advent of like K-pop being popular, I think the next thing is that style of fashion, like very Asian style streetwear. I can see like youthful, because like I feel like with the popularity of high-waisted jeans in this already, like we're basically halfway there. Like we just need the obnoxious branding over everything.
Does it still count if by the time we get there, Asian high fashion has changed?
Yeah, because we're late to the it's a trend. It was an Asian trend at a certain point, right?
Okay, because I'm going to tell you right now that's been happening for years.
Is it?
Yes.
I feel like I haven't seen it.
I just meant the whole trend of the Western side catching up with the, like, especially the high fashion Hong Kong and shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's always like 5 years out.
Yeah. Okay, like that. Okay, the trend of being late to the party will continue.
Yeah. Cock, what a guy.
But I don't.
Let's say.
I want to say like maybe with the rise of streamer culture, maybe more mukbang stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah, just like I don't want to, like, this is a dark future that I'm envisioning.
You are envisioning a dark future
because like I don't think that people are necessarily going out like they used to, getting into relationships like they used to, at least committed shit.
No, you're right, and
right?
I remember. I recently read a story on that, like how it was more normal to just not do anything.
Yeah,
like to stay in and just whatever.
And I feel like a lot of people will turn to streamers for their companionship.
Yeah.
For eating, so they're not eating alone, so they're experiencing new cultures through different people.
Yeah.
Right, and stuff like that. Like hopefully you would have the opposite effect where they see this and then they're like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like maybe this is like my old curmudgeon man coming out, but like I feel like the way things are going.
So you're talking about those porn vloggers?
Those porn vloggers, yes. Those cam girls.
No, I mean like they vlog in their real life.
Oh, those. Oh! I haven't seen this. I saw that Pornhub's just doing interviews now.
I know, it's crazy.
Like I think they had an interview with Asia Akira and Hitomi Tanaka, just talking about the regional differences in pornography.
Yeah. I saw one with a T-Rex chasing a Latina.
What?
On Segways.
What?
It was on this. There's this Twitter account called Out of Context Pornhub. And I saw this image, and it's like, in what context would this be?
Like, even in context, what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. That's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know. Food probably is a big one, like you said, fish sauce. Maybe ramen will get mad popular, even more so than it is. Because, like, all you can eat sushi got fucking wild.
Yeah, that's true. And you can't get ramen at sushi.
Yeah, you can't get ramen at sushi.
Because
I feel like ramen's getting very big in Toronto, at least. Yeah. And, like, when our city gets one, you know, it's coming.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think, if not fish sauce, will kimchi be the next big thing?
The only issue with kimchi is that if it does become popular, is going to be some watered ass down version of kimchi.
Well, of course,
because those YTs cannot handle.
Yeah, and I imagine if fish sauce gets popular, it won't be as potent.
Then it's not. It's just water at that point.
Listen, and then they go to the Chinese markets and like, yo, this is the real fish sauce.
Oh, fuck off! I think. Wait, no, that's the new trend.
Yeah,
the new trend is that North America is gonna ruin TNT for me. They're gonna ruin Chinese markets for me. I walked in and I wasn't the only white person there. What the fuck?
No,
I can't come here anymore.
Get wrecked.
Why do you think I like that new Chinese noodle place?
Because no one's there.
Because it's authentic. It hasn't been ruined yet. It hasn't been tainted.
Okay, fair enough.
No, that's the newest trend. Assholes like me gatekeeping.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the latest trend.
That's true. All right, then there you go, Paul.
That's the realest trend.
And now you know what we think you can expect in the new year.
We coming for your culture, buddy.
Sorry,
we coming.
We sorry.
I'm not. I'm taking over. I got that itch.
All right,
That conquering itch.
Let's move into our picks of the week, and I think no better place to start off a new year than with news or with new news and
About?
updates to Overwatch.
Fuck. Go.
Yo, you know your favorite gruff dad?
McCree?
No.
Soldier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, he's gay.
Based on what information?
Well, I don't know. I think Overwatch had some sort of official canonical press release saying he's gay.
A press release?
Yeah.
Like not even a comic.
Yeah. I don't know if there was a comic that said it, but yeah, more or less.
How do you have that kid then?
I don't know.
Was it like he had sex, had the kid, then he realized he was gay?
Wait, what kid?
I thought he had a kid. I thought he was a dad.
No, that's why his number one line is, "I'm not your father."
Oh. Oh.
That's all you should know about Overwatch. Just keeping you guys in the know. There's also an Ana challenge. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but at a certain point, is it pandering?
For this one, I think yeah.
Because I'm not saying that like a lot of the cast can't be straight. Like they obviously.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying that the timing and the release of this information seems like, oh hey, we don't have anything in the pipeline really, but we still need Overwatch to be relevant.
Yeah.
So Soldier's gay. And like just as like a press release, like just throw it out there. Who gives a shit? Doesn't really affect the story.
Yeah.
It's just fluff, right?
Yeah.
Like it just feels like a cheap shot. Like they're playing to the Tumblr crowd now that all their porn's gone.
I don't think you're wrong. And that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Is that a rant that I want to go down?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Nah, I'm good.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm good.
But yeah, there you go.
I'm good.
That's the hottest in the Overwatch news.
Is that it? So you got?
That was it for Overwatch.
Okay, continue.
I
got jack shit for picks.
There was a new trailer for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Sorry, the first trailer for Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Far From Home.
Yeah.
It shows Spider-Man's gone to Europe. Some shit happens. Mysterio's involved. So is
Nick Fury's
Hydro.
there.
Yep. It raises questions about when does this movie take place.
Is it post Thanos?
And who knows? They make it very clear to not have a defined answer because Robert Downey Jr. is not shown.
Yeah.
So you know that it could be
either way.
Either way. Mm-hmm. He's wearing the original suit, and so here's the thing: I can't remember in Avengers: Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Peter wears that suit that he gets from the first suit he got from Tony Stark, like the classic looking Spidey suit. When he sticks onto the rocket or the spaceship, does it get ripped up as he's going into space? I can't remember, or is he swinging without a suit?
I don't think he was swinging without a suit.
I gotta watch that again, because I know the suit saves him.
I think maybe it got damaged.
Okay.
I don't know if it got like totally demolished.
Yes.
But I think it did get damaged at some point.
Okay. So yeah, that was the only thing I couldn't remember. Anyways, who knows when this takes place?
Mystery.
I don't know.
But Mysterio's in it.
Yeah, it is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Prince of Persia, is
sure is
the Prince of Persia.
Sure is.
I gotta watch that movie. I heard that was trash.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is the Assassin's Creed movie also bad?
I haven't watched that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the trailer for Spider-Man: Far From Home. A lot of cool things. My favorite thing to come out of it were the memes on the next title.
What?
Because it's like Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Right.
Far From Home, Homeless,
Homeless, Homeward Bound.
Yeah. They just keep going. I'm just like,
Home Base.
God, this is great.
I hope they do continue with that home section. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah. And I want to say, oh, sorry. Finally, there's a trailer for the new Punisher.
Oh, the new Punisher.
Yes.
Yes.
The new Punisher.
Comes out on Friday, boy.
Sure does.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And it looks like the Punisher's back.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hilarious because all the other Marvel Netflix shows were canceled.
Yeah, but the Punisher was awesome.
Yeah.
The Punisher was so good.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
It's nice that it's returning.
I can't wait till season 2 ruins it.
You're probably not wrong. And we'll just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
He's got a sidekick now.
Yep. And then lastly, this one's more closer to me as a car fan.
Oh, okay.
The Toyota Supra,
Yeah.
a car of legend for many 90s kids.
Mm-hmm.
First seen in Fast and the Furious.
Oh, that orange Supra, baby.
As the orange replacement
Supra
to the Eclipse.
Ooh, baby.
I think everybody growing up in the 90s knew of this car. They wanted this car. This was the dream car. And then, unfortunately, in 1997, Toyota said, no, sorry, bye. It's discontinued.
It's too popular. We can't handle it.
We're all about safety.
In 1997, was that car affordable?
It's the equivalent of what it is today.
Okay. All right.
Like the equivalent of
55.
We'll say 40.
Okay.
We'll say 40, 45. We'll say like that. That's what basically was equivalent to.
Okay.
And it disappeared because Toyota said, no, we're not all about the sports life.
Welcome to the Corolla.
Welcome to safety. Welcome to the hybrid.
Ugh.
Welcome to the best car for you and your children.
Ugh.
And Toyota did this dance for 20 years.
It's not working out for them.
No, it's actually made them the number one car company in the world.
It has. It definitely has. You're not wrong.
25 years later, Supra's back, baby. Supra's back. But there's Toyota had to sacrifice one thing in order to bring it back.
What?
They said, okay, all you Japanese domestic market motor fans, we've given you the car of your dreams. Except for one small thing.
What?
It's not made. It doesn't have our legendary Toyota engine. We asked the Germans to supply us with one.
Then what's the point?
And so it's got a BMW under the hood.
What's the point?
It's got the Super badge.
So this is a shell. Literally, it's a super shell on top of a BMW.
I wouldn't go that far because like everything else is Toyota. It's literally just the engine. But it's like saying, yeah, the heart of the car is.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be all for it.
Yeah.
Because you like that part in Tokyo Drift where they put the American engine in the Japanese car. Or is it the other way around? They put the Japanese engine in the American car?
No, I think they put an American engine in the American car.
No.
Do they lift the block from the...
They lift it from the
Mitsubishi.
No, from the Nissan that he wrecks at the beginning, the Sylvia.
I thought he had a Mitsubishi.
At Tokyo Drift?
Do they take it from the beginning car that he smokes or from the red Mitsubishi?
The beginning car that he smokes.
The Mona Lisa, okay.
Yeah, he takes it from that Nissan Sylvia and they puts it in the Mustang.
Oh, yeah. He does.
Well, I guess that's different. That's giving a Japanese engine to an American
It's
car.
a little different.
Okay, fine. This is the other way around.
The thing is, though, as someone who's only owned a Japanese car, those things are solid.
Yeah.
Those things are fucking solid. And I'm not saying that the Germans aren't solid, but what I am saying is that anecdotal evidence is that my friend bought a BMW, and 3 days after she bought it, she had to take it in for major engine overhaul.
Oh man.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the weird thing about that car, and I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that they would do that. But it looks like a Toyota Supra.
You would think that for such a well-known named car, right? Like such a legendary car, they would kind of pull the stops. They would get a Japanese engine in there. They would make it all in-house, right? Like this sort of seems very cheap.
I don't know. I think that a lot of it just comes from the fact that Toyota has devoted so much of their resources to safety and economy.
Yeah.
That they
don't have the team for it, maybe?
Maybe, and I thought for them, what's the point of investing R&D when it's a dying technology, right?
Yeah. The other thing is, what's the point of doing this at all then?
To bring the Supra name back. To show that...
To do what?
To show to the kids of today that Toyota can still be a youthful and fun company.
In the land of don't do anything unless you do it right, like, this doesn't feel like a very Japanese move.
Well, it's also not the first time Toyota's done this. Their most recent sports car, the GT86.
Okay.
That has an engine from a Subaru.
What?
Yes.
And they're not in the game of engines anymore?
I don't know. So I mean, like, it's not totally unsurprising, but it is one of those things where you're like, huh, why? In other news, they have 2 other Supras that they have announced.
Okay.
And these ones are special.
Why?
Because they're the lower end depowered versions.
We took your favorite Supra and we defanged it.
Yeah. So these are more affordable and they only pack 200 horsepower as opposed to the 350 of the big boy.
Okay.
So, for a comparison, 200 horsepower is about the same power you would get in a modern family sedan.
How much does my Mazda 3 have?
Like 160.
160. Okay.
I think now it's probably more like 140,
I
but
think that thing goes pretty fast.
brand new 160.
Okay.
A Golf will get you 210.
Okay.
So, yeah. The new GT86 is 200 horsepower.
Okay.
So, there you go.
I know my dad's Infinity fucking goes off the line.
I think that's like 320.
The G35?
Yeah. So, or 297. I can't, or 276.
Whatever.
I
That
don't know.
thing moves.
Yeah. So,
What's the
there-
Hellcat at?
I don't know. I think it's like 870.
Yeah,
350?
that's
I
what
don't
we
know.
need. Put a Hellcat engine in the Supra.
No. But yeah, so that's the Toyota Supra. It's back. Look it up. It's a pretty cool looking car.
It does look nice.
It's pretty cool
It's very
looking.
aggressive.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's pretty interesting.
I only have one pick.
Okay.
It's very quick. It's Dead or Alive 6
Cease.
has a new trailer. It's a features trailer
Yep.
out. And basically, yeah, they got story mode. They got different characters. They got all that. You can make costumes and shit.
Yeah.
But the costumes is where it's at.
Yeah.
Because listen, they got that whole marketing like North America. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We've heard your pleas, your
Yeah.
calls, and the costumes are more tame. They're all about fighting now. Except when it comes to DLC. Because, damn, Kasumi is in, like, this fucking sailor bikini.
Yeah.
Oof. Ooh, baby.
They were like, we can't decide what's sluttier, the adult wearing a school uniform or just the most minimalist bikini. I know. Why not both?
And so, I'm glad to see that Dead or Alive...
Oh, you're glad to see.
Yeah, has not lost its roots, man.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Because up until this point, you're like, yo, Dead or Alive has changed. They're about the fighting. They don't worry about the costumes and the titty physics.
Yeah, because you know what? I just want that on the surface.
I
just want that on the surface, baby.
Okay.
Deep down, out in the nitty gritty,
Oh, it went deep.
in the options,
Mm.
I want that age counter.
Oh my god.
I want that age counter. You know what that age counter does, don't you?
Oh man.
Don't you?
You're disgusting.
You turn that age counter up to 99,
Yeah.
turns those physics up. And I ain't talking about those explosion
Oh
physics.
no.
I'm talking about those breast physics.
Wow, he went there. Thanks.
Dead or Alive is back, baby.
Oh, some say it never left.
And that new girl's apparently 18,
Ooh.
which I just don't believe.
She looks 12.
Neo Tengu's 1,018.
She looks like she's 18.
No, she'd be like early 20s.
Okay.
Neo Tengu.
All right.
I just want original ass Tengu back.
No.
I didn't like it when they changed it to Neo Tengu.
Yeah, well, I didn't like when they changed it to Devil Jin, but look where we got.
Yeah, but they still give you the option for regular Jin.
Yeah, but I want the Devil Jin moveset.
So you want the Jin aesthetics,
Yeah.
but you want the Devil Jin moveset.
Yes.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Ugh.
They ruined Tekken.
They did. But yeah, that's all I got. Is that Dead or Alive does not give a fuck about marketing.
Okay. I have a feeling that now that we're talking about our weeks, you have a lot of stories you're going to share.
I do, yeah.
So I'm going to go run through mine really quick.
Go.
So in the time since before you left,
Mhm.
I obviously did a lot of things.
Go.
I'm going to start with the movies.
Yeah.
Watched Venom.
Go.
That was a weird movie.
Is it?
It's very weird.
Is it like romance?
No, but it's weird.
Okay.
It's more weird than anything.
Should I watch it?
You might surprisingly really like it,
Okay.
but I think it's just weird.
All right.
It's very weird.
Okay.
I watched Aquaman, and like you heard in our awards episode, wow, that shit was wild. Wild.
Wet and Wild.
Very wet. That whole movie, wet. So
Okay. I gotta watch that still.
it's good stuff. I watched Bumblebee, the Transformers Bumblebee.
Yeah.
That was a nice, wholesome experience.
Really?
It was nice.
Huh.
I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say that like, hey, you need to see this.
Is it better than the Michael Bay ones? The late ones? Is it better than the late?
It's better than all the Michael Bay
Oh
movies.
wow!
But then what really is that benchmark?
The first one, because the first one was novel.
Okay, so this one is kind of like the first one, only it's less toned down on the army explosions,
Okay.
and it's a bit easier to follow. It's a simpler story,
Okay.
and the girl is 100% more likable than any other human in the franchise, and I think the difference comes from the fact of who she is versus who Sam was. Sam was like whatever, he's a teenage boy.
Yeah.
what the fuck's her name? Charlie.
Okay.
Charlie's a girl, divorced family, and she's like lives that awkward teenage struggle.
Okay.
And it's her story's just more fun to watch. She has like issues, we'll say. She has those teenage issues.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's good. And I really like the opening scene where it's literally just the G1 Transformers on Cybertron doing shit.
Cool.
It definitely is almost written like a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
Remains to be seen if it is.
All right.
So that's that. Then I watched The Green Book. I think I talked about this movie.
You did. Privilege of the movie.
Privilege of the movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. Go out and watch it. If you want to know what it's like to be a black man in the 60s, but who really is the most white collar human out there and who doesn't fit with anybody, it's great.
Okay.
Especially because his driver is the most Italian New Yorker. And
hey, I'm walking here.
100%.
Okay. All right.
100%. It's great.
All right.
It's great. I've been watching some shows. I had to watch the season of The Bachelor because I think I don't know if I said it on here, but there was a girl and her opening line is hi, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, ooh, that's a nice accent. Where's the accent from? Oh, the accent? It's Australian.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to her talking to the camera. I'm not really Australian. I just need to stand out.
That's hilarious.
And that was a line that got me in. And the show is wilder than I could have expected.
Okay.
The big draw to the show is that our Bachelor ex-NFL player is a virgin.
An ex-NFL player
is a virgin.
Is a virgin.
I
just don't believe it.
Yeah, neither do I, but he's a virgin.
I don't believe it.
Anyways, my favorite girl on the show right now, she's like 21. She comes from a family of problems on a farm, interior designer. Her mom's in jail.
Okay.
She does a lot of cool, rad shit. She's cute as fuck. Well, of course, she kind of looks like she's 14, though.
Wow.
She's the first girl that he meets, and the first line out of her mouth is, "So you're a virgin. I haven't been with one of those since I was 12, but I'm willing to try again for you." She says that shit, and I'm like, wow, I'm rooting for this girl, because her other thing, too, is I've never been in a serious relationship, ever. Ever.
Wow.
Ever. And she is a shit disturber, and she's wonderful to watch.
Okay. All right.
And then I also watched another show on Netflix called Back with My Ex.
Back with My Ex.
Yeah, it's an Australian show. It's basically the story of people who have broken up, and years later, they try and reach out and see if they want to make it work together.
Okay.
If you ever have problems in your relationship, watch the show, and I think it'll put into perspective maybe just how good your relationship is.
Yeah.
Because the reasons why these couples didn't work in the first place are they're just sad. They're just.
Give me an example.
One dude dated a lady for 6 years.
Okay.
Broke up with her every year.
Every year?
She still came back to him. He was so busy. He penciled her in to see her only on Sundays. That's the only day she could see him.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
For her birthday, he gave her $10,000. In the card, it said, "You can pay off your tuition fees, or you can use it to buy these." And it was a brochure for breast implants.
What the fuck?
So, yeah.
She paid off her tuition fees.
Oh, of course. No, she did.
Oh, okay.
She did, and
All
she was
right.
very upset that he would even offer the breast implant.
Wow.
Yeah. Another one for why they broke up is so the guy goes, "I caught you with another man."
Okay.
And you're like, okay, that's fair. He caught her
Busted.
with another man.
Yeah, busted.
And she's like, hold on, let's rewind. Let's replay this story. She goes, "I told you I loved you, and you said nothing."
Okay.
And so after that, you didn't want to see me. So 2 weeks later, he's like, "I realized I loved her." So I went back to go see her.
Yeah.
And I saw her with another dude at her house. And they were just chilling. They were having whatever. They weren't doing anything. And so he says, "Before we get back together, you have to apologize to me for doing that." And I was like, whoa, what? I was like, I thought that shit was over.
Like, I get his did they, like, officially break up? Like, was it like, "I don't know if I love you, we're done"? Like, was it that kind of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're a fucking idiot. What?
Yeah. And he's like, "We can't make this work unless you apologize to me for what you did." And it's like, whoa. And then they go meet him and his friends are ripping on this girl. and it's real sad.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's good if you ever want to know like how bad a relationship can get.
I think it can get worse than that.
Oh, it can, but these are like realistic.
Okay, all right.
Like it's not like those pie in the sky things where things get too crazy. These are like realistic situations where you're like, oh.
I don't know how realistic that last situation was. I feel like that guy's fucking a lunatic. So
But I think a lot of guys are that way.
all right.
And then the last show I watched was this show called You.
Me?
You.
You. Okay.
I mean, if you want to be the lead in this movie or this show, you can.
I don't know if I want to yet. We'll see.
So the show is about a sociopath.
All right.
Who falls in love with a girl.
All right.
And he is trying to do everything he can to make that girl fall in love with him.
Would a sociopath fall in love in the first place?
You're right. He frames it as she needs him.
Oh. Oh. Interesting.
And let's just say she needs him as in this other figure in her life is not doing her well. They need to be removed.
Oh, removed.
Removed. But he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart for her.
Interesting.
So that she can live her best life.
What?
It's if there's anything I've talked about today, that's the only show you should watch.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic. It really gets you in the mind behind a sociopath. I've talked to a lot of friends about it at work.
Why watch a show when you got me right here?
I know. I talked to a lot of friends about it at work, and they're like, "But he's so nice and sweet and wholesome." I'm like, and I'm like, "No,
you're being tricked."
I'm like, guys, what? And they try to justify him. I'm like, guys, he's a fucking murdering sociopath. Why are you on his side? You're not supposed to like him. That's the purpose of the show. Like, if you're falling for him, I think something's wrong with you.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's good.
You work with some weird people.
I do, and I'm like, man, you guys must have been in some awful relationships. And they're like, let's not go there, Vince. Yeah.
I want to meet these people.
Oh, yes. But yeah, that was it for my 2 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, I'm playing Overwatch still because they have an Ana challenge where you get a cool new skin.
Okay. And you can only get the skin during the challenge?
Yeah. You have to win 9 games or something.
Okay. You still haven't got it in 2 weeks?
No, I have it.
Oh, okay.
I have it. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So I'll start with the small stuff. I have been playing a new game called 428 Shibuya Scramble. It is a visual novel for the PS4. And I haven't played visual novels in a long time. I think you reminded me that Phoenix Wright is a visual novel.
Yes.
Right? But I think that's the only one I've ever played.
You've never done the Danganronpa?
Nope.
I think I'm going to buy those.
Try it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the first 2 are pretty good, and then it gets kind of weird. But yeah, so I've been playing 428 Shibuya Scramble. The thing about this game is that it's all real people. Like, the whole thing is just pictures of real people acting, doing stuff.
That's different.
Yeah. So there's no, like, video. There's no, like, motion. The only type of motion you get is when they show, like, maybe 3 or 4 pictures in rapid succession to show an action, right? But everything other than that is they took a picture and they put text over it. And so there's 5 branching story points. There's one that's a cop. There's one that is basically he's the Shibuya guardian, and he goes and picks trash up, and he's just like an overall nice guy. There's a really genius medical doctor who majors in virology.
Virology?
Yeah, like about viruses and stuff. There's a There's a journalist who's basically he's the best, like one of the best, most intense journalists there is out there. He's always trying to find the next scoop.
Yeah.
And there is a drink mascot named Tama who is stuck inside of a mascot costume of a cat.
Huh.
And her whole story is that she's stuck trying to get money so she can buy this pendant.
Huh.
And so what happens is that all these stories start to intertwine. You start off with the cop, and it turns out that someone has kidnapped this girl, and so they're trying to set up a drop-off to where the kidnappers can get money so that they can return the girl later. But then it turns out that girl, the sister of the girl who got kidnapped, is the daughter of the doctor, and then the doctor is like, and everybody's story basically intertwines.
Yeah.
Right? The cool thing about this game is that there's different choices that you can make at certain points through the game, which affect other people's stories, not just yours. So if you're playing Tama and you do some wild shit, that has a chance to affect stuff in the other people's story.
Sounds pretty cool.
So each section is broken up into an hour.
Yeah.
And you have to get every character to the end of that hour. But in order to do that, you have to make sure everyone else makes the right choices in their story.
So is this one of those games where there's only one true ending with one set of choices to get there?
It seems like there's only one true set of choices to get to
The finale?
each hour.
Okay.
But I don't know about the final chapter.
Okay.
Because it's there in the save section, there is a counter that only goes up to the 10s, but of good and bad endings.
Okay.
So it seems like there are multiple good endings, but it seems to get to the truest ending, there's only one way. Some of the endings though, some of the bad endings I've gotten are pretty hilarious. And some of them are just kind of whatever. Like one is like, oh, I gotta pick if I want to keep following this perp, or if I want to go back and make sure the target's safe. And so if you make sure the target is safe and you go back, you lose the trail of both, and then you're stuck, and then it's game over.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff where I was playing as Tama, and your boss tells you to go get a box of energy drinks from the storage room, and a cockroach flies out. And your choice is basically do one-on-one battle with the cockroach, or quickly grab the box and leave. So if you do one-on-one battle with the cockroach, it's this whole elaborate thing where she's fighting the cockroach and eventually just smacks it out a window.
Huh.
Right? But while you're playing the garbage guy,
Huh.
he's helping this girl escape the murderer. You're in an alleyway, and then at some point during your conversation, a cockroach falls on her head. She picks it off her head, she looks at it, faints, and then you get a bad end to where like he has now devoted himself to cleaning up not only litters but also cockroaches, so that it's his penance. And then it just shows like a shadow of the girl in the sky, like she died.
Wow. Wow.
Right? So all the choices intertwine with each other in different ways. So it's really cool in that respect.
Sure.
It is actually really cool in that respect, just because you do get some wild, weird endings. But also just seeing how everything intertwines is really fun. Okay. And so far the story's very interesting because you have this weird drug cartel group that's doing kidnappings, but then also on the doctor side, you have like this weird new Ebola offshoot that the pharmaceutical company he's working for is doing unsanctioned tests on people with.
Yeah.
And then you have the journalist who's trying to get scoops on everything.
Yeah.
Usually the Tama story is like the lighthearted portion where it's like, oh, you need a break from the seriousness. Here's some comedic relief. Yeah. But so far everything has been pretty solid. Cool. I think I finished the first 3 or 4 hours of not like of in-game time, but of the story time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I really like it a lot so far.
Huh.
It's a really interesting game.
Cool.
Yeah. I've never really played anything like it, but again, I haven't really played a lot of visual novels.
Sure.
Other than that, I've been reading a new manga series. It's called Kengan Ashura. And it is about... Basically, there are these things called the Kengan matches. And the only way to get there is to basically be the strongest or the most wealthy business people in all of Japan.
Okay.
And so to get into the tournament, it's a 10 billion yen entry fee.
Right? 10 billion
yen entry fee. Oof. And so each company bets on these matches in order to make business deals, pretty much. Like it is a one-time a year thing where you can go in and make like huge sweeps for your company. You can either go totally bankrupt or you can like jump 5 levels and be the next conglomerate, because each corporation brings their own fighter to the tournament, and the whole manga is a tournament arc.
10 billion's what, 100 million?
Yeah, okay. I think so. Also, there is an anime coming out of it this year on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't hear about, like, I started reading it because a friend told me about it, and then a couple days later I heard that there was an announcement for an anime. I was like, wow, good timing.
Wow.
So I've been reading this, and it's really fun. It's really a lot of really great classic fighting shonen tropes in it, like you punch this guy in the face so hard and he's down on the ground, you think it's done, but then the guy stops, and then you see a guy laying on the ground with like death aura coming out of him. He's like, "Bitch, I'm not done yet."
Very cool.
But it's all different fighting styles, going from like ninja assassinations to guerrilla warfare, to just total bullshit. Like this guy, he's just crazy flexible, but like to the point where if he can like make all of his joints so loose that when he swings his arm, the bones in his fingers become unjointed and stretch out his hand to get extra reach and do dumb shit like that. So it's pretty fun. It's basically the richest of the rich battling it out, not only on the battlefield with their no holes bar battle to the death bullshit, but also in behind the scenes, because they're making business deals behind the scenes that are fucking over other people.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really fun. I think the only thing that would turn off people is that it's very violent. Like
violence is a definite thing that could turn someone off.
It can. Like I think in one of the first matches, a guy gets his eyes gouged out.
Wow.
Just like straight 2 fingers, boom,
At
straight
least
to the
it sets
eyes.
the tone early,
right? Another guy gets just like punched in the head so hard that his skull caves in. Stuff like that, like really horrific body horror type bullshit. A lot of blood. It's also just like really over the top. One of the guys who does guerrilla warfare is obviously a black guy from the Congo.
Oh, okay.
But his whole thing is that he has like an insatiable appetite, let's say, for women. And so
of course he does.
Of course he does.
Wow.
Of course he does, Japan. And so in the lead up to his first match, when they're showing the entry hallway, right, where he was walking, there is just a trail of satisfied women on the floor. It's so fucking stupid.
He knows what's up.
Yeah. But then there's also like some other bullshit. So like the same, like just to set the tone of what this manga basically is, the same guy who is the guerrilla warfare guy, he's like, well, obviously he's using his sight to like see different tactics and shit. So fuck that. I'm gonna gouge his eyes out. This is the guy who got his eyes gouged out.
Okay.
So he gets just boom, straight in the eye, blood everywhere. Basically, they make it look like his eyeball pop like balloons.
Wow.
But the thing is,
the violence is real.
Yeah, the violence is real. The thing is, it doesn't matter because he was already blind.
I see why you like this show or this manga. I see why it's up your alley.
He was already blind.
I understand.
Baby.
I understand.
He was learning people's moves by the sounds they were making on the television.
This sounds so familiar. This level of idiocy and convenience.
Or the one guy who's a pro wrestler. You know, pro wrestlers don't block.
No, they do not.
They're tough. They got to take every hit. So it doesn't matter if you're facing the #1 sumo wrestler in the world. When he palm slaps you, you take that shit with a smile.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so he does all kinds of dumb bullshit too. Yeah, and every character has their own little gimmick. But the main character is a down and out businessman who's basically his wife left him, his kids don't talk to him. He works in a dead end job. Got nothing to lose. But the thing is that the CEO of the company he works for sees something within him.
He sees a spark.
He sees a spark.
Okay.
And it turns out that he has like perception like a motherfucker. So they choose him to run a shell corporation so that the big boss can have more than one company within the Kengan match. Right, and it works out like that.
I get it. Yeah. Don't throw all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And it turns out a lot of other people are doing the same thing. So yeah, it's really fun. It's really cool.
I do like the idea that it's not just people fighting. It's like, oh, yo, these big businesses. This is how they fucking decide shit.
And the people they hire to fight don't even give a shit about the money they're making. Yeah. They're just like in it for the battle, right? Like
for the glory.
For the glory, baby. Just to be the strongest. So
okay.
It's pretty fun.
Fair enough.
It's
that
pretty
sounds
fun.
pretty cool.
I like it a lot.
That sounds pretty cool.
But other than that, I went to Germany.
Hermione.
Yeah, I went to Germany. I went to Germany.
Oh, Jeremy?
Jeremy?
Want to go see Jeremy?
I want to go see Jeremy, man. Jeremy's pretty dope.
Cool.
But I went to Germany. I went on my first ever solo trip. Yeah, I went to Munich, Germany by myself for a week. Yep. I went for New Year's. I flew out on Christmas Day, Came back on the 2nd.
You did come back on the 2nd.
Yeah. And yeah, it was an experience. So I stayed in a hostel for the first time.
Yep.
I shared a room with 5 other people
Yeah.
who constantly rotated out. Because it turns out what I learned is that people don't stay that long in one hostel.
No, it's usually like a night and they bounce off to the next city.
So I walked up to the counter and they're like, oh hey, like what's your reservation? I'm like, oh, it's under like Anthony, and they're like, oh, okay, blah blah blah. And the first thing is this guy going, whoa, and I'm like, what? He's like, you're here for a long time. And I'm like, what? It's like 5-6 nights. And he's like, yeah, people normally stay like 1 or 2 max.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, I planned this trip out wrong.
Yeah.
So basically what I did is that I stayed in Munich and I made Munich my hub point.
Yeah.
And I took day trips out from Munich.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Salzburg, Austria.
Yeah.
I went up to Stuttgart in the north.
Yeah.
And I did some other trips around like the Munich countryside.
Yeah.
And then I explored Munich itself.
Yeah. So I guess what I guess most people have done is taken a hostel in each one of those cities you went to.
Yeah. So I think that's the way if I ever do this again, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
It saves you 1 day or half a day of travel time.
It does save you half a day of travel time. I think it does saves a lot of money on just travel in general for trains.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Right. Because I don't have to go there and back. I just have to go there.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the first mistake. I came back broke because of that.
It happens.
It happens.
The best lessons are you learn from your biggest mistakes.
Exactly. But yeah, I fortunately chose what I thought was a very good hostel. They had a bar in there. There's a lot of kind of a happening place at night. I got to go see the Mercedes-Benz Museum. There's just a lot, or sorry, not the Mercedes-Benz Museum. It was the Mercedes-Benz. I didn't get to see the BMW Museum. That's the one I missed out on. I didn't have enough time for that. I got to go to one of the biggest technology museums in the world. I went to the Deutsches in Munich.
Deutsches.
It's 6 levels of technology.
Servers.
Pardon?
Of servers?
No. of like naval, automobile, plane,
that type of technology,
space, computer science, like everything, and it's all themed. If you go into the basement, it's like you're in the below decks of a boat.
It's pretty cool,
right? And they put all of the like deep sea stuff under there too, so like scuba sets, stuff like cool. that. It's really well thought out. The Mercedes-Benz Museum, I think, is the most well thought out. Because when you get in, you buy your ticket, and you take an express elevator up to the top floor.
Yeah.
When you hear the ding of the elevator, you hear the footsteps of a horse.
Yeah.
And it's like, cluck, 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 cluck. And when you walk out, there's nothing. It's just a hallway leading into another room, and just a giant life-size horse.
Wow.
Right, fake horse. And at the bottom of it, it says, the invention of the automobile will like change the world forever, basically. And that's the first thing you see. And then when you walk in, the in the showroom is the first Mercedes-Benz ever made, the first model, and the first Mercedes engine, this first single-stroke engine.
Cool.
Right? And then as you go down each floor, it's Mercedes through the years.
That's neat.
And while you're walking down, there's pictures on the walls so that you can get a feel for what was happening at that time in that decade. And so they give you a bunch of history points. And then once you get done to the history points, then you get to the cars.
Is it English?
Yeah, English and German.
Okay.
You can also buy audio tours, which I didn't do. So you get a little,
like a
basically like an iPad, or an iPhone, and you walk around, and each of the segments has a little QR code, and you can scan it, and when you scan it, it plays it through your headphones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really really cool. In terms of sites, the Hosen Salzburg, which is the main fortress in Austria, in Salzburg, Austria, is awesome. It's got an amazing view of the city, right by all the mountains. It's just gorgeous, like just straight up, like the way they've kept that clean and people can go through it. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Just whoa, you okay? Just overall, like I was actually very very nervous, like going there, being on the plane, getting into the hostel. Like the jet lag kind of fucked with me the first night.
Oh yeah. Did you not sleep on the plane again?
No,
Okay.
8 hours.
All right.
I did not sleep on the plane.
Well.
But yeah, it was an experience. Like I definitely see why there's always people like going to find themselves in Europe and some shit. But I don't think it's necessarily Europe.
I think you can do it anywhere in the world.
You can do it anywhere in the world, but I think it's mostly just going on a trip by yourself. Like if you can afford it, obviously
Yeah.
there's people in certain circumstances that can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you can, like, it kind of shows you that like the world isn't as scary as you thought.
But I think you went to Europe.
That too.
I think
Like I'm not telling like go to Myanmar. Like fucking yeah, go to
like,
Burma.
that you said like people go find themselves in Europe. You're absolutely correct. But I think that's a lot of things that are very like you hear that saying around here in North America,
Yeah.
right? And I think a lot of that comes from like Europe is very different from here,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time it has a lot of the let's just say creature comforts of
Home.
home or like of modern society.
Mm-hmm.
You did that trip like backpacking across Asia or
Yeah.
South America or Africa.
Yeah.
Completely different story,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah. That's what I felt like in Peru as well.
yeah. Oh,
But-
exactly. Yeah.
Right. But the main thing here is that it's that I went by myself.
Yeah.
Right. I've come to realize in my life that I am not a sprinter. I am basically a long distance runner through life. I do a lot.
Running a lot. What's going on?
No. Like I do things very late. Let's say at least within my life. Like I feel like a lot of people who would have done this trip, like at least the people I met, they're all like 22 to 25,
Yeah.
right? And here I am, this old fucking bag, 28.
I mean, I don't know how I would say that. If I mean, you hear always a lot of people, right? Especially midlife crisis dudes.
Yeah.
They're like mid-40s and like, what am I doing in my life? Working this office job.
Yeah.
They buy a car or they quit and travel the world,
Mhm.
right?
So, like, I always felt that I was kind of late on the uptake with this stuff.
Okay.
Just personally, but it's a confidence thing because there's a difference between, like, other than Japan, I mostly went on trips with my parents.
Yeah.
Right. And there's like a comfort there where you're with somebody you know, or you're with a guardian or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I went with you guys to Japan, I was still like with people I know.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't.
Yeah. The only difference there is like no one's gonna. You're right. It's not your guardian.
Yeah, it's not your guardian, right? But you're still with people you trust, and there's still a plan.
Yeah.
But when you're by yourself, it does feel kind of scary because
you're on your own.
You're on your own, like just straight up, like everything is your decision.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like with this trip, I learned to love the fact that that's not scary. The fact that everything is my decision.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that it's all up to me, and that I can handle doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I can. If I can figure out a cross-country train system in a language I can't understand, like I can probably figure out most of this shit in a place where the language I do understand.
Yeah. Except your taxes.
Except my taxes. No, listen, that's what the TurboTax is for.
Nope. Because we're gonna cut to a sponsorship ad, but
nope. Cut to a sponsorship ad for TurboTax.
Yeah.
Just connect that shit to my CRA account, boy.
I know.
So easy.
The convenience.
So easy. So yeah, just the fact that like I do have like a new sense of confidence.
That's good.
Within myself.
That's good.
The cheesiest one is confidence with women. Like just straight up, if I want to get personal here, like I kind of have no qualms now about talking to women. Period.
You mean like what was the issue before? Like
I would always get nervous.
Even like in a not flirtatious situation?
Yeah, because I would always be like, oh shit, like I should watch what I say, like especially with like outrage culture and stuff like that. Like I feel that's not as big of a deal as it actually is, but the internet makes it seem so.
Yeah.
With stuff like I don't want to say the wrong thing, I don't want to do this and blah blah blah, or whatever. Like I've just learned that like I'm a pretty decent person, and other people aren't as sensitive as the internet makes it out to be. Also, just there is nothing to be afraid of in that sense, right? Like I met a lot of cool people, both men and women, couples, whatever, on this trip, and the thing is like if you approach them with like a modicum of respect, right? Like let them get the feel for you, like you're not gonna just get the one person who's like, how fucking dare you, right? Like that's the one fear.
That's like the 1% chance.
Yeah, it's like the 1% chance. But the thing is like when you're very introverted, like that 1% chance takes over all thought process.
Oh no, I get that.
So like even when I was coming back, like just some random girl who was sitting beside me on the plane back, like I was able to talk to her and like do stuff. It was like a big confidence booster.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. And then like it even transferred back here. Like I was in Toronto, I think last weekend or the weekend before, and I just wanted to go for ramen because I was near Toronto anyway. So I went, and then I just was sitting there waiting for my thing, and this guy sitting beside me mentioned something that I also knew about, and I was like, "Oh, hey!" And I just shot the shit.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just like, "Oh, like it's not completely paralyzing to just be social." Right. I'm still definitely introverted in the sense that if I'm social,
Yeah.
I need to eventually stop and recharge. Like basically how I think about it is like a battery.
Yeah.
Like I expend my battery by being social and I
Yeah.
recharge it by being by myself.
I don't think that'll ever change.
Yeah.
No, I think personality wise, you're like either you're more one way than the other.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like that, I think that as well. Like just that will about me will never change.
Yeah.
But the fact that I don't have to be afraid of using that energy, right? Like of going out, being social, doing things, just knowing when's my limit, when to pull it back,
Yeah.
when to maybe give up on a conversation. Like don't be the annoying pestering person that's just like, oh hey, oh hey, oh hey, when they're obviously trying to get out of a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's the biggest thing the trip taught me, other than seeing cool shit, is just the fact that I can handle people.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing is socially is really as bad as I think it is in my head. Right. So that's like going back to Paul's question of like, what are you trying to do this year?
Yeah.
Of just like I'm trying to do less thinking, more doing, where I always overthink things in my head through and through and through. And it's just like, well, it's the worst situation. I just never act on it. So now it's just like, okay, I have an idea, think about it a little bit, like actually have a plan, and then just execute, because it doesn't matter if you don't execute.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I went through a similar process when I was younger. It's more like it's a lot of thinking way further than 2 steps ahead.
I'm thinking like 20 steps ahead.
You're thinking too far ahead, and then I eventually just learned, why don't you just think about your next step?
Yeah,
just the step that's gonna happen right now,
yeah.
And then you just deal with that.
You're not playing chess.
Yeah, and like not everyone, like the world's not that, or it was that, and the thing that I learned was, no one really cares about what the fuck you do, or like you do whatever you want. So
the one thing I also learned
Yeah.
is that I have much more success talking with the opposite sex if I keep my hobbies hidden for as long as possible. And by long as possible, I mean don't make it the outset. Like, so if it's just like, oh, what are you into? Like, I'll be like, oh, my friends got me into cycling recently, or stuff like that. Like more acceptable,
socially acceptable things.
Yeah, and then once you work your way in,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, I also like to play games.
I'm still trying to juggle that one.
Right, that one's hard.
Because I always feel like if I open up and I have that hidden off the bat, I feel like I'm lying.
Oh, I'm definitely also feel that way.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, especially me when I'm trying to get dates.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I have significantly more success if I just mention it in passing and then drop the bomb on them later.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's tough. I've tried both ways. Which just talking to people, and like at this point now, it's just I put them all on the table at once.
Yeah. Well, what I don't know. I found also on this trip that situation is different.
Yeah.
When you're trying to.
Oh, that's true.
Let's say to lay with somebody. Oh. Rather than to just be friends.
I see.
Right.
When you're trying to make that connection.
Yeah, when you're trying to make a connection.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's a little different. You don't want to come out the bat being like, oh, Genki desu ka? What's up? Tomodachi? Ski desu, yo. Right? Like, you can't just be like that and just drop the fact that I have an Excel sheet with all my games in it.
True. How do you reveal that to somebody?
So far, with a lot of success, is that I just, when they come over.
Oh, hold on. When I've trapped them already.
No. Yeah, when they're emotionally attached, they come over, and then I flick on the lights, and they're like, "Fuck."
No, dude, that's not the first time I've heard that story from somebody. I fear that it's a very common thing.
I told you that story with the Tinder girl I met.
Yeah, I know.
Where she came over and she was literally shocked, literally froze.
Yeah, a lot of the girls that I work with and stuff have told me very similar stories. Like, yeah, I didn't realize he was into games this much.
Yeah, but the thing is like, would you have given that person a chance if you did know off the bat?
And yeah, they were like, no. And I'm like, well,
exactly.
What are you gonna do?
There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta lay the bait.
Sucks.
I don't know. Like for as popular, quote unquote, as nerd hobbies are now, and like Marvel movies and stuff, it's still not as accepted as you think. That's for sure.
Tell you what, though, because they're my coworkers' boyfriends are all into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can now go around the office saying, "Hey, you want to smash?"
I do that to people in my office who don't know that.
Oh, you see, I do it. The younger girls know, but the older ones do not, and they just give me the most nervous looks.
I went up to the general manager of the building the other day, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, you want to smash?" And she's like, "What the fuck?" and I pulled up my Switch. I'm like, "I bought the new Smash Bros." And she's like, "Oh my god, Anthony, stop phrasing it like that."
Yeah,
It's been a good couple weeks.
Any other life lessons you learned out there? Any small tidbits?
I don't think I need a winter jacket.
Okay, you clearly haven't been somewhere cold enough yet.
Yeah, apparently not.
Yeah,
because I went out in like it was +2, so not that bad.
Okay, no.
But listen, I went out in +2 in a t-shirt.
Okay.
Right, because I wanted a kebab, and I was drunk, and they wouldn't wait for me to get my coat.
Okay.
So when I went out, and I was just like, "Let's go." All the people from Australia and all the people from like France and shit are like, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Nah, y'all babies." Like.
And then did you follow up? I'm Canadian.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, I see."
No, when our weather gets beyond -20, that's when you need.
Yeah, I think -10 is when I start to feel like I should probably buy a jacket.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. It's not so much the air cold, it's the wind chill.
It's that wind. That's the thing about Germany. It was the same temperature wise there, but there was like no wind.
Okay, because like I always find that I can resist a lot of cold, but it's the minute the wind blows.
Yeah, and
that's when you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So there was no wind.
Okay.
So yeah, I met a lot of cool people. I met some people I didn't agree with, but you know. If it seemed like every single time I met an Australian person who wasn't in a couple, they were on a gap year.
Yeah.
And when I met any sort of American in a hostel, they were in the army or the military in some capacity.
Good for them.
Yeah. So there's always like these super buff macho dudes just like getting hammered. I'm like, I hope they don't beat me up. I really hope they don't beat me up, please. Probably. But yeah, it was a good trip, and like Germany was really fun. There's definitely a lot of things that I think if I went in the summer would have been better, just like a lot of parks and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one wild thing about New Year's there is that we went to the main square, me and one of the friends I made there. We went to the main square, and you know how like here we have like fireworks shows?
Yeah.
And like the city hires a person
to
do fireworks safely.
Yeah.
Germany says fuck that shit. And basically a bunch of cops hang around the square and they're like, all right, this section here,
this little square.
This square portion, right? The main portion in front of the church. Don't come in here unless you brought fireworks. And people just bring their own fireworks and they light them off.
Nice.
Right? So the end of the year, closer to midnight, there were so many fucking fireworks going off that you couldn't see the sky. It was just fireworks, smoke, and lights.
Nice.
And then also it was just raining debris. Like it felt like it was so much debris that it felt like rain.
Ooh.
Right?
I don't know how I feel about
it's
that.
It's just unsanctioned.
You must have came in with like a film on you.
I took a shower immediately after.
Okay.
It was unsanctioned explosions.
Ooh.
And I had there was a couple misfires. So the person I went with, he was from South Korea and he had just finished his military service like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And so he there was a couple misfires where like, you know the big square fireworks where it's a bunch of tubes and they're supposed to go dun 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 dun. The one of them just went all at once.
Jeez.
And it was boom, like you felt it in your chest, and he got so fucking scared because it gave him like military service flashbacks.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Sounds intense.
It's intense. I'll show you a video later, but
all right.
It's intense.
Sounds pretty hot.
So yeah, I recommend going on a trip by yourself, to be honest. Like it kind of teaches you a lot about who you are. It teaches you that basically you're stronger than you think you are, both mentally and physically. And that like you can be confident within yourself. Like I thought it was a very good trip for that reason. It was a very wholesome trip, let's say.
Very wholesome trip. Yeah. Your trip was expensive?
It was pretty expensive.
Okay.
It was like $1,500 for the flight.
Oh.
Yeah.
To Germany?
To Germany.
Ah.
And that was half price of what it was if I didn't fly out on Christmas Day.
To Germany.
To Germany.
15 there and back.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's expensive. It was expensive.
Dude, I booked my ticket to Iceland.
Yeah.
It's 400.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's because you're in off-peak hours. You're in off-peak season, right?
Shit.
It's because I wanted to go to New Year's that it was just jacked. Also, my seat number wasn't a number. It just said GTE on it.
Oh, nice.
And what that means, what I learned, is that you get a seat when you get there. So they load everybody first, and then they're like, GTE passengers come to the front. And then you get the seats of whoever canceled.
Whoa.
So there was a chance that when I got to the airport that day, I didn't get a flight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They would have just like reimbursed me or flew me out the next day, I'm sure, but
still.
Yeah, still.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was half price if I would have flown out any other day than Christmas.
Whew. Okay.
But yeah, it was a really fun trip.
I'm glad you had a wonderful time.
And then the hostel was dirt cheap. It was like $300 for a week. And then
I take it a lot of your money is spent on the train.
Was the train. I bought 500 euros, which are with our exchange, I think it was like 750.
Yeah.
I came back with like 80 euros. But most of it was the train, like especially the express trains out to Stuttgart and to Austria.
No stop.
Just only main station stops.
Yeah.
Like I forget what they were called. There's like a specific name for the main stations. But yeah, only main stops, and it was like 50 euros there, 50 euros back.
See, if I were rich, that's the trip I'd want to do. Like, just take the express train throughout Europe, the one with the cabins and stuff.
Yeah. I almost took out a bunch more money and went to Prague,
but
for New Year's, because I met a couple there who's like, "Yo, come to Prague with us; it'll be dope." But the only hostels that were left were like 150 euros for one night. I'm like, fuck that. I was like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I love you.
That's not a hostel, man.
Yeah. No, that was a hostel room.
Dude, that's not a hostel price.
Hotel rooms were 300 euros per night. It was basically double. All right. And so I was like, guys, I love you. I can't swing that. I can't. And so instead, I actually got to see one of the best orchestras in the world, the Hungarian Radio Symphony Orchestra, with apparently one of the best pianists out of South Korea. What was his name? Song Juk Cho? Yeah. I'm butchering that.
Yep, probably.
Like someone's offended.
Song Juk Cho?
Yeah, Song Juk Cho.
Okay.
Someone's offended. I don't know who it is. But yeah, it was like, when I go see symphonies and stuff or orchestras, usually they're student because they're cheap. It's like $10 for a ticket, and I get to hear some nice classical music live.
Right.
This thing, well, I bought my ticket for 80 euros from some lady who's just wanted to sell her ticket. Talked her down from 100. This concert was fucking flawless. It was perfect in every way. Like, I'm not musically talented, but I think I have a very good ear. And I can pick out, at least in the student ones, when like someone misses a note or someone hits a flat, right? It just sounds weird.
Yeah.
Nothing in this one. It was perfect.
Wow.
It was amazing. I'm pretty sure I was sitting behind like Japanese royalty because like these people in front of me, all old as fuck, but I was the youngest in my row, in my section, I want to say by like 40 years.
Wow.
And I didn't even come prepared. I came in sneakers, like beige khakis.
They let you in?
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone else was in a suit, like basically a tux.
Wow.
Wow. Out of place.
Wow.
But like this lady in front of me had this fucking rock on her finger, man. Like, I don't know how she was holding, like she was doing curls with this shit.
Fuck.
They were balling out of control. And the performance, this was the epitome, like, you know, in anime when you see like, it's like, oh, someone does something amazing, or it's like the peak performance and they're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful or whatever. That was that. Like fucking, I swear to God, sparkles came off the crowd, like, or came off the orchestra. It was perfect. It was amazing. Like nothing I've ever heard before in my life. Wow. It was amazing.
Wow.
If you like classical music, or you can withstand classical music, like high-end orchestras are worth at least once.
I've always wanted to see like a symphony orchestra.
Yeah,
I just don't know what one I would want to see.
Oh, there's actually, okay, no. Now that I know that, there's a couple good ones that come out of Toronto.
Yeah, like I want to do the whole thing. Like I want to dress up for it.
Yeah, yeah, no. Okay, I'll find an event.
Cool.
I'll find an event. We'll do that.
Cool.
But yeah, the whole trip again, mostly like confidence boosting, very wholesome trip. I had a good time. Had a lot of nice people.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
What?
You said that on this. I think it's on Twitter.
Yeah.
You were talking. It must have been through some other human interaction.
Okay.
You noticed some people did some annoying habits.
Oh, this. So this is okay. So the one thing I learned on this trip, it happened to me like 4 times.
Yes.
Like I want to say like 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
Most of them were habits I used to have.
Yeah.
Right. But basically I saw or met a person or engaged with a person who had a very annoying habit.
Uh-oh.
But then I also realized that I had that habit.
That's why you noticed
or
it.
used to have that habit.
Oh.
And I could see that like I had figured it out, but they haven't. And then I got to see from the outside how other people thought of that habit.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck!
So what was it?
So one of them is what I used to do is actually, this is going to sound very sad.
Okay.
Is that I never knew really how to start conversations with people.
Yeah.
So, but I really loved music.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would purposefully play music, but not in my headphones. Like I just want to listen to it on the speaker. But
Yeah.
I'd put it just loud enough so other people could hear it,
Yeah.
and that they would go, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah.
Right, and then I have an in.
Yeah.
Right, and so I found that very annoying. And when I was trying to, especially, let's have relations, have a connection with another girl, and someone wouldn't leave and do that, and they were doing that, like, I was like, "Fuck, that's annoying as fuck." Like, I'm so glad I stopped doing that.
Okay.
What was another one? Oh, just like randomly interjecting off-topic opinions.
Yeah.
I feel is something I probably should still work on. Like
Off-topic opinions?
well, off-topic opinions, but like having a topic, but then going to the extremities of the topic. Like just taking that topic and not talking about what it was originally intended to be brought up for, but then going outwards and being like, this widens pie in the sky idea.
Yeah.
Right? Like that kind of shit. Which I think I'm a lot better on, but I also used to do.
I mean, that one really depends on the people you're with. Like
It does.
Some people you can do that, but I think you're right. Most people are just like,
Yeah, especially in
what the
like
fuck?
a bar setting where you're just trying to have fun. Like
Yeah.
nobody, like this one guy basically, it was basically someone was talking about like, oh, my friend's in the army and she's in the army, right? And then this one guy went, oh, girl in the army, and then took that as girls, like he had a thing against women being in the army, right?
Oh man.
Right, so it went dark.
That's no fun.
Right,
That
and
is
so
no fun.
obviously that's a very extreme take on it, but it
Yeah.
also is like, oh shit, like that's not that was about. That was just a quick story about how he has a friend in the army,
Thanks, mood killer.
and now this guy is just going nuts on it,
Yeah.
right? Like it's different. And there was some other things and just sort of like nerves, personal habits, maybe like especially stuff with like shaking, like
Fidgeting?
I shake, like fidgeting and stuff. Like I shake my leg. I'm doing it a lot right now.
You are. You always do it.
I always do it, but just to try and be when I'm around strangers,
Yeah.
maybe try and be more aware
Yes.
of my fidgeting, or find more discreet ways of dealing with it.
Yes, one of the methods that you've learned recently is to hold a knife.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's socially acceptable.
No.
right
I'm
now.
definitely. I'm not gonna do it outside of this. But I bought the sweet weeb knife, the sweet pocket knife.
Yeah.
Um.
I just hope you don't. You know.
No. I'm not like bringing this to work and being like, oh hey, need a knife? Like,
Oh, okay, because I have a knife at work all the time.
yeah, okay, maybe that's a bad example. But just like I'm not doing what I'm doing now, which is just
Yes.
like holding it, flicking it through my fingers, like
Okay.
doing
Fair
that
enough.
kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
Like finding more discreet ways of dealing with that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like I've actually been using that fidget cube you guys bought me a couple
Yeah.
years ago, but I'll like keep it in my pocket.
So
and
no
I'll,
one sees it.
yeah, so no one sees it, and I'll just do like the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a. I know for me it's not as bad as it is for you, but like yeah, one of the things I do more now is on my watches. I have a bezel that you can spin it.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I have on all my watches you can wind the crown,
Oh, okay.
and it's just one of those small little. Huh.
Huh.
There's instant feedback.
Yeah, you just get like the tactile.
Yeah,
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 I get that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. Just I think the one main one is try and keep more eye contact with people when I talk.
Right.
Just because I find that someone did it to me and I found it seemed like they weren't listening to what I was saying, but they were. But I didn't get the visual feedback that they were listening.
Yeah.
So like I know I have the tendency when I'm talking with other people to just like kind of drift off with my eyes, but not with my head or my ears.
I think that's normal. A lot of people tend to look up, and it's because they're thinking.
Yeah.
So
I just found that it's like long instances, at least. Maybe I'm overthinking it again, but
maybe I don't know.
I feel like it's long instances where I'm not looking at somebody.
Yeah, because then you'll go to the other end of the spectrum where you're like, well, now am I just staring?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the balance.
Yeah, you gotta find the balance. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Exciting. Anything else?
I can't get my fucking clip pedals on my bike.
We'll have to deal with that.
Yeah,
later.
I can't. I've been trying to do it with like an Allen key, and these pedals are just stuck.
Yeah.
Like I have no clue how to get these off. Like I'm following the tips on the thing where you do counterclockwise for the one side and clockwise for the other, but I just can't get this shit off. Like I hurt my elbow doing it.
Did you use your foot?
I tried to, but my Allen key wasn't long enough to like stay in there.
Put a bar on your Allen key.
I don't have one. I don't have something that can fit over it.
Okay.
I don't have I was thinking of that, but I don't have anything that can like withstand the leverage.
I think it's a couple lying around here somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Use that, and then use one on the wrench if you can.
It's doing that, and then just like talking to more people, being more outgoing.
Cool.
Like, not assuming that people don't want to hang out with you. So like I've invited more friends that I've wanted to hang out with and catch up with.
Yeah.
Just you want to go for lunch, right?
Yeah.
And just because they say yes doesn't mean they're doing it against their will. They say yes because they want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Learning experience.
Social experiments.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Let's see. Before we wrap up, TJ's back, so happy belated birthday to TJ.
Oh yeah, happy belated birthday to TJ. Yeah. It was your birthday at some point.
Oh, thank
you. That's all. Okay. You can put your headphones back in.
Yeah, that's all. He's there doing stuff. And yeah, I guess that's it for us this week. I'm trying to think about anything that's coming up pretty soon. I know as we're recording this, the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie is out tonight.
Yeah, my friend went to go see it.
So I don't know if we'll see that soon or not, but
well let me know because I want to see it.
We'll figure it
out. Have
a
free movie pass.
Right. Maybe we'll go see that sooner rather than later. Yeah. Any other announcements? If you're in the area where we live, Toronto, Mississauga area, I'm going to be at a toy show at the end of the month.
What a shill!
If there are certain pieces of my collection that you've wanted,
I'm looking at it.
I do sell those off for a pretty discounted rate.
Let me know first.
I
need that inside scoop.
I'll be splitting a table with my friend Rex.
Good old Rex.
And we'll be selling some toys. So if you're in the area, come see us.
Chill. Shameless.
Ontario Collectors Con, Sunday, January 27th.
Shameless.
10 to 4. I'll be there.
Oh, that's what I gotta do this year.
What?
I gotta do more volunteering at events that I enjoy. Just because, like, I see you volunteer at toy events, and it's like, oh, fuck, that's like a good way to meet people who also share the same shit as you.
Yep.
Right? I gotta do that.
You should do it.
I gotta, yeah.
It's pretty fun. Yeah. Okay, then. This one has been a bit longer than we expected, but hey, it's our first one of the year.
Good.
So
new year, new us.
We're allowed to.
Yeah, we're bringing it back to 3.5 hour podcast.
Well, let's hold off on that one. Let's hold off on that one because I think we still have to record something after this.
We do.
Okay, let's end it here then. Bye. Go.